evidence to believe that this case has been thrown, I will stop at nothing to make sure that the entire world from every corner of it hears it and sees it, and I will distribute it to every corner of the earth, because it's public record. Loose. If they wanted him, they'd still have him. There was. He would end teaching people how to use firearms and going and training all these people. This site is site enhancement. It's the same thing they did at Waco and Ruby Ridge. They altered the facts in order to get him off. Out of platen attached with riveted plates. This site is site enhancement. It's the same thing they did at Waco and Ruby Ridge. They altered the facts in order to get him off. 100% certain that Marine Corps Sergeant Dyer knows that firearm serial numbers are not a platen attached with riveted plates. This site is site enhancement. It's the same thing they did at Waco and Ruby Ridge. They altered the facts in order to get him off. In these matters to make sure that my information is correct. And both of those doctors of audiology have indicated that the impact on the cochlear tube of the inner ear would be devastating under those conditions, that the individual would lose balance, he would lose cognitive ability just from the sheer shock of the incident. So he fired hundreds of rounds in the school and was still carrying on his person hundreds more that he had not discharged. And essentially you're talking about a 165 decibel or better percussive impact on the human nervous system inside an enclosed space like that, and that's simply just not possible. The disorienting effects, I actually had 2 telephone interviews with 2 doctors of audiology yesterday, and this is the level that we take our investigation to. One minor detail. It's the entire pile. Fired hundreds of rounds in the school and with nervous system inside an enclosed space like that, and that's simply just not possible. The disorienting effects, I actually had 2 telephone interviews with 2 doctors of audiology yesterday, and this is the level that we take our investigation to. I'm not going to assess it based on my own personal information, my own personal level of training. I'm going to take this to industry professionals who have doctorates.
You have the right to know. That is the guiding motto behind a local private investigative office that has more than 80 years of combined security and investigative experience. And what's more, it's all expertise from one family. Joining me today, Mike Powers of Powers Investigation to talk about what they do and how they can help you. Welcome, Mike. Nice to have you here.
Nice to be here.
You come from a long line of investigative types. Your father was a police officer?
Absolutely. My father was in charge of organized crime unit at Franklin County Sheriff's Department. So I knew at an early age that that's what I wanted to do. So I actually started when I was 16 years old.
Did you really?
Worked undercover at Big Bear warehouses.
So
in
Dad
the
got you
summertime.
working.
Yeah.
And now your son is in this as well.
Right. I've got 3 sons, and they all put their hands in it, and I've got one that's full-time with me.
Well, you know how private investigators are depicted on TV and in movies. It's really romanticized.
Powers, he's joining the broadcast because he too feels like there's a little more. New Year's tonight, guys. Our special guest is my good old buddy Mike Powers. He's joining the broadcast because he too feels like there's a little more to the whole Sandy Hook situation. Now, of course, everybody knows that it's a travesty that those kids got slaughtered the way they did, but there's a lot of inconsistencies.
It's odd because, I wish I could share the picture with your viewers, but we have 2 pictures of it where her vehicle was positioned and the fact that it was sitting in the cluster of several of other vehicles. So trajectory alone eliminates this from being truth. There's absolutely no way that Lanza or whoever the gunman was would have had the ability to point a weapon out the school windows and actually hit the vehicle.